Hey guys, happy Monday, happy Labor Day. In this video, let's talk about GameStop, and I'm going to show you a couple of different revenue and earnings outcomes from the GME calculator, my spreadsheet that you guys know and love well by now, where we can model different outcomes and get instant outputs. The chart, there's really not much to talk about. It's the same thing we've been talking about for the past year. The damn thing is trapped until we get some news or a new catalyst. Closing Friday at $22.41. And I like to buy down there in the demand zone or lower than that. And we'll see what happens. We got earnings on September 9th. A lot of people looking at the chart want to talk about Bollinger Bands. They want to talk about Roaring Kitty raising his head on Reddit this weekend. Not talking about GameStop. He got a award on Reddit for something. I don't know. I don't even worry about that stuff. I'm not here to pump you guys up like the pumper channels promising you rockets tomorrow. I'm here to try and make some good trades and talk to you about what I'm doing and give you a level-headed view of how to trade GameStop. Let's look at the GME Calcinator and see if we model Michael Pachter's inputs for revenue and the most optimistic one that we see on Yahoo Finance of 900 million. What could that possibly mean to GameStop in terms of what they might report on the 9th? We can see old Michael Pachter's Q2 revenue estimate here, $832 million. That's what I'm going to call it. We will do the 900 million in just a second, the one from Yahoo. But let's start off here on the far left-hand side of the spreadsheet with this variable input box. Whatever we put in here will change the Q2 estimates in the far right of the calculator, the spreadsheet. And if we look at this other box on the left-hand side, 2025 outputs, that'll be our Q2 outputs, depending on what assumptions we make for the inputs. Let's start with the revenue. Michael Pachter is saying 832 million. Let's just go with that for this example. Gross margin, we'll keep that at the same as last quarter, 34.5%. SG&A as a percentage of net sales, I'm going to reduce that from last quarter. Last quarter it was 31%. Let's just go with 27% and cross our fingers. And the T-bill interest rate I have at, let's use 4.25 for this example. And we have a little bit of calculating about what GameStop's cash balance was during the quarter. Remember, they started with 6.3 billion and then they bought some Bitcoin and then they raised some more money. I'm going to just roughly guess that the interest income, when I calculate all that out at 4.25%, is going to come in around 77 million for the quarter. So with Michael Pachter's numbers plus that 34.5% gross margin, 27% SG&A, we get a Q2 net income of $139 million, of which 62.4 million is operating income. The remainder is the interest income. And as far as the earnings per share, one thing just to keep in mind, GameStop has convertible bonds. You have basic shares outstanding and you have diluted shares outstanding when you have convertible bonds, whether they've been converted or not. And when you, in addition, have a positive quarter, you should report earnings per share based on diluted shares outstanding, which is 499 million or so. So the calculation that I show here, 28 cents EPS, is based on diluted shares outstanding. We want to know though, what if this estimate from Yahoo, the high estimate down here, 900 million for the quarter, what if that is the actual number for Q2? To model that greater revenue, let's change the variable input box here. Revenue, we're going to change that to 900 million. And I'm going to keep gross margin the same. Let's dream a little bit and say that the company drives down SG&A as a percentage of sales down to 25%. And the T-bill interest rate is going to remain the same. With that bump in revenue and that improvement in the SG&A, that gives us a possible Q2 net income of $162 million, including the interest income of roughly $77 million. Diluted shares outstanding, EPS, coming in at around 33 cents per share in this scenario, in this example. Keep in mind, I have no idea. I'm not making any predictions what GameStop is going to report. We're just modeling based on a couple of numbers that are floating around out there, making some guesses on things like margin and SG&A. The other thing to just dream about is what do we want to add in for any unrealized gains on Bitcoin? Let's just assume that around May 25th, 26th, GameStop bought Bitcoin at around 106,000. And at the end of the quarter, Bitcoin was trading at around 116,000. That would be 10,000 per coin, or about an adder of $47 million of unrealized gain for the quarter. That also gets added to the income statement. We don't know the exact numbers, so again, this is just a bunch of guesswork until GameStop tells us exactly what the numbers are for their Bitcoin purchase. But let's just roll with this 10,000 per coin unrealized gain, and they held them for the entire quarter. We're looking with Michael Pachter's 832 million of revenue, adding in the unrealized gain from Bitcoin, a non-cash gain, still an increase on the net income to $186 million for Q2. Using the other example of 900 million of revenue and 25% SG&A percentage, and adding in that Bitcoin, now with this more optimistic example, we're over $200 million for Q2 net income, 209.5. I really was hoping that we'd get some momentum into this Q2 earnings, considering I think most of us think that it is going to be a beat versus what the analysts are predicting for Q2. But so far we've been stymied, we've been stalemated. Will the share price go up in the next 6 trading days, the 6 days that we have left? I guess, that remains to be seen. And we need to keep in mind what Bitcoin is doing and the sentiment of the overall market. I am not going to be the one to tell you that if the market crashes that GameStop is going to soar. I think, just using common sense, if the market crashes, GameStop's going to go down with it. So I would prefer that everything just stay flat or go up. I'm not calling for or hoping for a market correction. I don't think it will be good for GameStop or anybody really. What do you think GameStop's revenue is going to be for Q2? What do you think the net income result is going to be for Q2? Are you counting anything for Bitcoin? Leave me your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I do my best to always answer your guys' questions, and I love to hear from you. Thank you for watching all the way through. I am Tony Denaro, and I will see you on the next video.